Besides the natural shelter and the good hunting, our people were able to survive because of the amount of water we had here in the Hueco tanks. Inside this cave, there's something that's very special to our tribe. This painting was painted here a long time ago by our grandfathers. My grandfather would tell me the story. This represents the Sun people, which was the tribe that came down here to El Paso. They used to call us the Sun people because we used to live on the east side of the Pueblo. And before we came down here, they gave us a map. This arrow represents the Rio Grande, and this represents our old Pueblo in Ysleta, New Mexico. And it leads us and it shows us the way back home.
The immediate ancestors of the Tiguas were relative newcomers here, for these mountains and surrounding desert basins have been home to native hunters and farmers for 11,000 years. Today's Tiguas feel an affinity with the land and all its previous inhabitants.
When my father used to be here all the time, and he used to live in that house over there, he used to take care of this place here, and my brother would do some deer hunting, deer season time. One time he killed a couple right over there by the Castillos, and it was snowing at the time, and we had to go drag a couple of them from over there through the arroyos, and it was real cold, and the ground was covered with snow, and them boogers were heavy, but we dragged them all the way here. Heck yeah. He killed a couple of them. Pretty big.
Why did your father choose this place here?
Well, I think he chose it because he knew that the water settled here, and of the ruins over there, just like they used to live there. And you can tell right away that it's wet. It's still, it's moist. Okay.
Sure is.
Okay.
Still packs something.
Yeah. So he figured that if it was like this, and with a little bit of water, you could grow corn.
Did you grow anything?
Yeah, we grew a little. It grew a little bit, but it dried out. I guess it needed more water, much more water. It's too dry out here, in the middle of nowhere. But since those ones are over there, probably Indians, the other, before they used to grow corn, vegetable out here.
Yeah.
That's an arrowhead. Part of it. It's beautiful. Hey, come here. Got something to show you here.
Come here.
Come here, Tommy, Sammy, Joseph, Philip. Look at all this pottery. Look at all this pottery here, man. Look at all this. All this clay. How about that? We haven't found one. Painted.
That's got some nice colors to it.
Yeah. My father used to say that out here in the desert, it's not polluted. When you inhale the fresh air, it's like it's good for you. He used to call it like medicine air.
In the sandhills nearby, Tomas and Rudy collect mesquite wood. It will be used to fire traditional bread ovens called hornos.
Gathering the wood, it's work. I go get it, and wherever I find it, I pick it up, and so far I haven't had any problem. We just go in the sand hills and look for it and gather it and load it up. Best thing to use to bake the bread with, to heat the oven up real hot, is mesquite wood, and that's what we've been using for years and years. What you do, you put the mesquite wood in the oven and light it and let it burn for about 2.5 hours to heat the oven up to about 550 degrees. Of course, you have to feed wood in there maybe every 30 minutes. We get it hot up to about 550 degrees, and then we clean it out, take all the ashes out completely, use a wet mop to simmer the heat down, because we simmer it down to about 450 degrees. That's the amount of the temperature we use for the bread. I mix the dough, me and my wife, a day before we bake the bread. Say we come in around 9 at night and mix it, cover it up and leave it overnight. And about 8 o'clock in the morning, it's ready. And it only takes from 20 to 30 minutes to bake.
Through the years, the tea was baked for their own families, and an horno in the yard was the sign of an Indian home. Now most of the bread is sold to tourists who can watch it being baked at the Tiguas Indian Arts and Crafts Center. To encourage economic development after recognition, the Tiguas obtained a federal grant to construct a cultural center. It was built with Indian labor from adobe on the site of the original Pueblo. The center offers a popular restaurant, crafts exhibits, and Indian dancing, and it attracts tourists from all over the world.
The dancing we do at our Arts and Crafts Center, our Culture Center, we call those our social dancing. Those dances are very different from our ceremonial dancing. Those dances are done so people can join us in dancing with us. You know, they can learn a little bit of our history.
The tourist business provides an audience and allows the Tiguas to present themselves as they wish to be perceived. Tourism also encourages tribe members to relearn or augment their traditions.
There were some people who came to help set the cultural center up, but it was not, again, it's like the language. It wasn't to introduce something new, but to enhance what already existed here. Basically what we were doing in that sense was teaching contemporary methods as opposed to our specific traditional methods. Again, because of the evolution that's taken place and the differences. For example, if you go over to the cultural center, there's some showcases over there that have pottery done by my great uncle, Sebastian Duran. So obviously, you know, the tradition was carried on, the work was being done. But that which is done for commercial purposes is very different than that which is done for